The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at a boat from Beneteau that is part of a popular three-boat lineup in Europe, but is now making her North American debut. Abroad, she's called the Antares 9. Here, she's the 27. Let's start our features review and performance evaluation by looking at her layout. To the stern are the expected platforms flanking the outboards. They're covered in teak, and a reboarding ladder with grab rail is to starboard, directly in line with the cockpit entrance. For power, twin 200 horsepower engines are the max rating for this boat. The aft cockpit seat slides forward to not only allow the engines to tilt out of the water, but it also exposes a service platform to stand on while conducting the daily checks. The cockpit seating is U-shaped and wraps around a solid wood table on a single fixed pedestal. There's storage under the seats, and understandably, there's no seat back to the forward seat to allow for sliding the door to the Salon open. The extended hardtop includes lighting, and certainly a bimini can be added to the trailing edge. Otherwise, we can convert this whole area into a sun pad. In the deck is a hatch leading to the bilge area and storage. The hatch is held open with gas struts. Access ports to the sides lead to the fuel tanks. The battery boxes are just behind. There are 11-inch side decks to both port and starboard, but the starboard side is more accessible with a step in the cockpit where seating is to port. Under that starboard side step is clever storage for the propane tank for the galley stove. The teak decking from the cockpit continues to midships, where it transitions to non-skid, and fully forward it narrows considerably. A grab handle runs along the top of the cabin. On the trunk cabin there's a sun pad measuring 5 feet by 5 feet 8 inches plus a 10-inch extension at the front. With 5 separate and connected cushions, it can be made smaller for easier handling and storage. The anchor is suspended from an extended davit under the split 26-inch high bow rail. A horizontally mounted windlass is under a hatch that's held open by a gas strut. Easy access to the road locker is to port. A remote for the windlass is mounted under the hatch, but its position brings the remote in contact with the strut as the hatch is closed, so that needs to be relocated. I'd also like to see a cleat to take the standing load off the windlass. A 10-inch docking cleat is to both sides of the bow. We enter the Salon through a sliding door, and a second slider allows for an opening 3 feet 7 inches wide. Headroom inside is 6 feet 5 inches, and a 22-inch companionway allows for an easy transition. Booth-style seating is to port with an expandable solid wood table on a fixed pedestal in the middle. There's an opening side window along with an overhead skylight and opening side door to supplement the ventilation from the aft slider. Shore power connectivity at the stern allows for the addition of optional air conditioning. And when it's time to enjoy the ride, flip the table leaf closed and flip the seat back aft for forward-facing seating. Notice as the seat back swings aft, the seat base also elevates for a better vantage point. The galley is to port, and there are beverage holders, a side counter space that opens to reveal a single basin sink and 2-burner propane stove. We already discussed the outside gas storage, remember? Below is a soft close storage drawer with additional storage underneath and a refrigerator. Moving below, this is a 2-stateroom, 1-head boat. The first is to port and includes a 6 foot 7 inch by 4 foot 8 inch berth with headroom over the berth ranging from 1 foot 5 inches to 2 feet 5 inches. There's storage to the aft bulkhead, a hull side window, and LED lighting. More storage is just inside the 5/8 thick door with polished hardware. The opening is gasketed to prevent rattling when underway. The master is entered through a sliding pocket door. There's the expected island berth. At the entrance, the headroom is 5 feet 11 inches with 3 feet 4 inches over the berth. We measured the berth out at 6 feet 4 inches by 7 foot 1 inch. There's a skylight, an overhead hatch, and hull side windows, all pouring natural light into the space. The sleeping is at an angle, so we have more space in the berth itself. The head compartment is to starboard, and headroom inside is 6 foot 1 inch. It's a wet head with a pull-out sprayer able to be hung on the bulkhead. There's an opening port light for ventilation and a hull side window for natural light. A manual flush ceramic toilet includes a flip-down seat to the side. The sink is recessed into the Decotech counter and storage is alongside. Back to operations, the aft Salon seat has the main battery switches. We continue ahead to the Helm. It's mounted to starboard and is at once functional and well laid out. The console is dark to knock down glare. The compass is atop the panel with a recessed area for putting stuff. A rubber mat would be a nice addition here. A 9-inch display is at the top center. Just to the right are 2 fuel gauges with a 4-inch SmartCraft display. Below are a beverage holder and 2 sets of electrical rockers. Further below and to the left of the wrapped wheel are the bow thruster joystick and the trim tab rockers. To the right are the ignitions and the DTS engine controls from Merck. The seat slides, includes a flip bolster, and a footrest is at the bottom of the console. Fuel shutoffs are to the outboard side of the seat. The single-piece windshield with narrow mullions is a welcome addition. Pantograph wipers have integrated washers. I'd like to see defogging vents inside. The VHF has taken residence above the windshield. By far my favorite feature is this opening side door. Not only does it allow for huge amounts of air to flow through the cabin, it also allows for tying up the boat single-handed, a great feature on a cruising couple's or even a solo cruiser's boat. Getting underway, it quickly became apparent that around the dock she's remarkably well-mannered, with the thrusters having enough authority to not only move the bow, but offer sideways maneuverability. The Antares 27 has a length overall of 29 feet 6 inches, a beam of 9 feet 8 inches, and a draft of 2 feet 7 inches. With an empty weight of 9,387 pounds, 60% fuel, test power, and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 11,348 pounds. With the twin 200 horsepower Mercury XL 4-strokes turning 16x17 inertia props, we reached our top speed of 42.2 miles per hour at 5,500 RPM. Best cruise came in at 3,500 RPM and 25.4 miles per hour. It was at that speed that the 13.8 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 1.8 miles per gallon and a range of 262 statute miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 158 gallon total fuel capacity. We had an average time to plane of 3.6 seconds, accelerated to 20 miles per hour in 5.9 and 30 in 8.5 seconds. We had mild conditions on test day, so no chance to comment on how she handles chop, but crossing wake showed how her tulip-shaped bow presents a dry ride by dispersing spray out from the dual spray rails. Characteristics that we've come to expect from Beneteau's Air Step 2 hull, such as on this Antares 27. She tracks well with dual running strakes running down each side. She has an 11-degree roll into turns that keeps everyone comfortable. The Antares lineup has been quite popular for Beneteau for some time, and it's easy to see why, particularly with this Model 27. She's a comfortable cruiser that can be short or single-handed. She can overnight 2 couples comfortably and more if needed, and there are clever uses of available space seen throughout. That's my full inspection and performance evaluation of the Antares 27 from Beneteau. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.